educators. Let's go. Too many tools just to build one dream. Tabs on the screen like a broken machine. Creators grinding late nights online, turning what they know into digital shine. On webinars, running emails to send, automation tools you gotta defend. But there's a better way to run the show, one system where the whole thing flows.
When the vision hits and the system's right, ideas turn business overnight.
Teachers and coaches leading the way, turning their skills into power and pay. No more switching apps every minute a day, one place to run it your way. Creators building futures online, ideas turn systems with the right design. From the classroom to the worldwide stage, welcome to the creator age. Idea in your mind, feel it in your mind, to a business online, run it up, run it on Canira. Creators, educators. Let's go. Too many tools just to build one dream. Tabs on the screen like a broken machine. Creators grinding late nights online, turning what they know into digital shine. On webinars, running emails to send, automation tools you gotta defend. But there's a better way to run the show, one system where the whole thing flows.
When the vision hits and the system's right, ideas turn business overnight.
Teachers and coaches leading the way, turning their skills into power and pay. No more switching apps every minute a day, one place to run it your way. Creators building futures online, ideas turn systems with the right design. From the classroom to the worldwide stage, welcome to the creator age. Idea in your mind, feel it in your mind, to a business online, run it up, run it on Canira. Creators, educators. Let's go. Too many tools just to build one dream. Tabs on the screen like a broken machine. Creators grinding late nights online, turning what they know into digital shine. On webinars, running emails to send, automation tools you gotta defend. But there's a better way to run the show, one system where the whole thing flows.
When the vision hits and the system's right, ideas turn business overnight. Canira, build it up high, turn your knowledge into enterprise. Canira, let it all flow from your first idea to a global show. Webinars running AI by your side, build your whole business, watch your vision rise.
Welcome everyone. We're getting settled in, and there's a few things that's happening on my end. I hope you can hear me okay. If you can, go ahead and put a yes in the chat. Go ahead and put a yes in the chat. Make sure I can be heard. We are back. We are on Canira, and I am excited to be here with you today. Welcome to Canira Build Session. We have some exciting things to cover tonight. I'm not going to keep you all night, but I want to make sure that those of you who are tagged and locked in, you can follow us on YouTube, also on Facebook, and we're going to have a really good build session tonight. I'm going to get right into it. And first of all, I want to thank all the guests for coming in. Thanks for taking the time and spending it with me this evening. What if I told you that you don't need to create content every single day to stay visible and grow your business? Well, tonight I'm going to show you how to take one original idea, package it with the right title and the thumbnail, go live once, and turn that one session into a weeks of content and opportunities to monetize. And I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to actually show you the process live using Canira. Nothing is going to be pre-built, nothing hidden behind fancy presentations. So let's go ahead and let's build. Now, before we get started, I want you to think about something. How much time are you spending creating content every week? Go ahead and answer that question. How much time are you spending creating content every week? Go ahead and put that inside the chat. Put it inside the chat. How much time are you spending creating content every single week? Well, tonight I want to help you because a lot of us, we are writing posts, we're sending emails, we're doing multiple things every single week. We're creating reels, we're actually hosting webinars, we're recording podcasts, and then doing it all over again the following week. But here's the problem. Here is the problem. Most people don't have a content problem. No, they have a content leverage problem. They're creating content, but the challenge is it's taking them more time to actually edit the content after it's been created, create email follow-ups for the content, turning it into blog posts, turning it into podcast, and you find yourself spending more time actually doing those things than making the actual asset that you've created. Do you agree with me on that? Is that just me? Well, I've got something for you because tonight I want to change the way you think about content because the goal isn't to create more. The goal is to make what you create work harder. Is that okay? So here is the belief shift. For years, we've been told, post more, create more, go live more, make more videos. But AI changed the game. Today, almost everybody can create more content. So creating more is no longer the advantage. The advantage is knowing how to take that one strong original idea and get maximum value from it. If you agree with me, go ahead and put value in the chat. Go ahead and put value in the chat. I call this the content leverage economy. And tonight I'm going to share with you why I call it the content leverage economy. You know, YouTube has changed the game. I know you probably have heard of it. You heard what YouTube just did. They made it even more difficult for content creators to monetize. So you don't need 20 million views. And it's just backwards to me. You have to have all these views of individuals that you don't know in order to get paid. That's backwards. And tonight I'm going to show you a system to where you only need 500 real relationships and you'll be able to monetize and make even more depending on your situation. No guarantees, but when you have a system, it changes the game. And when the problem that most of us have is we'll post, and instead of asking after we post, what am I going to post tomorrow? I want you to start asking, how much value can I create from what I've already made? Because that's a completely different question. Completely different question. Here's something else I want you to understand. I don't think of YouTube as a simple video platform. I think of it as a packaging system. Because before somebody watches your video, they have to make a decision. Do I click or do I keep scrolling? And three things heavily weigh on the influence, and influences basically that decision. The first thing is the title, right? Next is your thumbnail, right? And then next, the first 30 seconds of the video. Because it's basically attention, and then the thumbnail is to help them decide if they want to even click it. But when they start to watch, that first 30 seconds better be something that will keep their attention. Because you could have the greatest video in the world, but if nobody clicks it, nobody discovers how great it is. That's why packaging matters. The number one is this, your title. Now, your title has only literally one job. It only has one job. That's it. And guess what that job is? Make the promise clear enough that somebody wants to know more. So don't try to explain everything. Don't try to sound clever. Make the value clear. For example, Canira weekly build sessions. That's what I originally started with. And it's accurate. But guess what? It doesn't give me much reason to click. Now compare that with turn one live into weeks of content. Now, don't you think that's much better? Don't you think turning one live into weeks of content sounds like a title that you'll actually click? Come on now. Immediately, I understand the potential outcome based on that title. And that's what a strong title does. It gives you some things that it works. It creates interest around a clear promise. And then number two is it's pretty simple. Number two is the thumbnail. How many of you have ever clicked on something because of the thumbnail? All because of the thumbnail. Right? Because the thumbnail is what really attracts you. Remember that. And that may sound crazy, but sometimes the image is more important than the video itself. Why? Because the thumbnail gets judged before the video gets judged. Your thumbnail doesn't need to explain everything. It needs to communicate one idea quickly. If the title says turn one live into weeks of content, the thumbnail might simply say one live, weeks of content. That's it. Title and thumbnails work together. They're married. They don't need to repeat each other's word for word. And then number three, now that they have clicked, congratulations, because you got them to do exactly what you want them to do, but you haven't won yet. Now you have to earn the watch. This is where I use what I call the 3 C's. And the 3 C's is pretty simple, folks. This is the 3 C's: clarity. Clarity. You better be clear on exactly what it is that you're doing, okay? Comprehension and credibility. Clarity answers, what am I about to see? Comprehension answers, why does this matter to me? And credibility answers, why should I keep listening to you? Folks, those are some great questions, and those questions need to be answered because that first 30 seconds is what should answer that. So think about how I opened tonight. I told you exactly what we were going to accomplish. I explained why it matters, and I told you that I wasn't just going to teach it, I was going to demonstrate it. That's intentional. Your first 30 seconds should earn the next 30 seconds. Is that okay? Are you guys tracking me? Because that's what's important. What is going to keep the person for watching? And tonight, I'm going to share with you exactly what that is. That's powerful. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. Instead of creating 7 disconnected pieces of content, let's start with one strong source piece, your original idea, okay? That could be a live stream, a webinar, a podcast, a workshop, an interview, a teaching session, or a presentation like this one. That's the one original idea, and that becomes your original source of content. Then we multiply it. Are you kidding me? How many of you are tired of letting your content that you have did, any of those things, podcasts, events, and you only did it once, which means you only were able to get paid once. That sucks. And the rest of it sits in a folder on your desktop. And maybe some of it never even sees the folder on your desktop. Am I lying? But imagine if I finish this workshop tonight, most people would say, good workshop, right? Good build session. Then tomorrow, they'd start trying to figure out what to post next, because that's how it usually works. But watch what happens when we think differently. This workshop can become short form video clips, LinkedIn post, Facebook post. Are you tracking me? Are you tracking me? This workshop right here, this one session could become Instagram content, emails, podcast content, quotes, and a replay. Educational content, follow-up messages. You guys get the point. Call to actions. Potentially weeks of content from one original session. Now, we're getting leverage. Are you kidding me? And here's where I want to take this one step further. Views are not the business. Let me just get that out the way. They're not the business. Followers are not necessarily the business. Likes are definitely not the business. Those things can be valuable, but ask yourself, what happens after somebody watches? Can that viewer become a subscriber? Can that subscriber join your email list? Huh? Or can they register for your next workshop? Or can they buy your product? Can they hire you? Can they join your community? Can they come back? Are you with me? That's where content begins turning into an actual business system. Think about it. That's really what you want. Attention, then relationship, then offer, then revenue. Content earns attention, but your system determines what happens with that attention. And that's why I don't want you thinking only about creating content. I want you to think about building a content engine. Are you following me? Here's the workflow I want you to remember. Idea, right? You need a big idea. Then package, right? Then live, then repurpose, then distribute, and then follow up, and then monetize. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Because that's where it really starts. Do not build your entire business around one platform payout. If you do that, you're going to lose. That's why YouTube and other platforms leave. You need to be able to build your platform around your own business system. So say that with me mentally for 1 second. Idea, package, live, repurpose, distribute, follow up, monetize. That's how one piece of original content becomes a business asset. Now we can talk. Okay? So this is why I built Canira. And this brings me to why I did it. I didn't want another AI tool that simply says, let me create more content for you. We already have plenty of content. I wanted to build something around a different philosophy. You stay the creator. Your idea, your expertise, your voice, your experience, and your intellectual property, then AI does more of the heavy lifting around, guess what? You. That's the difference. So we organize that into something that I believe is one of the most powerful methods. And it's inside Canira using what I call the 4A method. Now you may say, well, what is the 4A method? Well, the 4A method, ladies and gentlemen, is anchor, air, amplify, and automate. Let me break that down. Anchor. First, we anchor. Who are you speaking to? What problem are you solving? That's so important. What is your core message? What outcome do you want? What's the title? What's the thumbnail? What's the opening hook? Remember, content starts before you press record. Packaging is part of the content strategy. So we must anchor our message in that order. And then next, air. Now, air, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the magic happens. Yeah, this is where we deliver the original message. We go live, we teach, we interview, we present. You create the source content, that one source content that we talked about earlier. And here's something important. You don't need perfection. You need originality and value. Your expertise is the source. Are you with me? You got to get it done. And then next, we amplify. Yeah. Amplify, ladies and gentlemen, is powerful. This is where one session starts becoming multiple assets. I'm talking about clips. I'm talking about a host of assets, posts, emails, podcast content, replay content, additional distribution. Instead of creating from zero every day, you're creating from a source. That is a massive difference. And finally, we automate. Are you following me? Yeah, because content shouldn't simply go out into the world and die quietly on somebody's timeline. How many things are out there in the Facebook and the Instagram and the LinkedIn graveyard? Come on, y'all. What happens next? Do we follow up? Do we send emails? Do we invite them to another event? Do we make an offer? Do we continue the relationship? Automation helps content keeps working after you've finished creating it. And that's why our philosophy is build once, serve continuously. Is this okay? Come on, y'all. I see you. I see you. I hope y'all is tracking with me. I hope you are tracking with me. So it's all about anchor, air, amplify, and automate. Now, I've talked enough. I promised you I would actually show you this. So let's build. I'm going to start with an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm inside Canira. The first thing you're going to notice is a dashboard. And I've got tons of assets here in my dashboard just waiting on me to share. Now, let's go ahead and start with a big idea. The first thing I want to do is this. I want to create a new session. And then I'm not sure what to say, so let AI set up your session, full script and all. So now I'm in showrunner. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have started. Then I'm going to look at how we can package the idea. We'll work with first the title. Now, the title is important. What are you helping people accomplish? Okay. In other words, who are you? All right. What do you do? What are your current clients struggling with? And what result do you get them? Here I help coaches and course creators go from building webinars that convert to a method that gets sales. So that's what I do. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy that. Now I'm going to actually put that here inside of Canira. And that is the message, okay? Because I'm not good with coming up with titles, but Canira Showrunner could give you some title suggestions. So I'm going to go ahead and build my session. Now, what it's doing now is this. It's actually creating a hook, an original story, a framework, a core teaching, and including an offer. Now, Canira is actually trained on some of the highest converting scripts and presentations out there. I've researched some of the best, and I have now implemented those inside of Canira to allow us to be able to master our presentation. So you're getting the best of the best as this presentation is being developed. So now it's going through the process. When it's done, you're going to see an amazing presentation that can be changed. Now, again, we're talking about that one big idea, that one session. So once I come up with the title, then next we're going to work on the thumbnail. So here we go. Here we go. It's already made it. Here it is. So now Canira has literally created a whole entire script for me to follow to the close. Okay. Each one of these are drop downs that can be edited. Sometimes it takes weeks and people are stagnated because they don't really know what to create. But here in Canira, we don't have that problem. So at this point, I could do a few different things. And I'm going to show you something that we just brought to market here in Canira, and it's going to absolutely blow you away. I'm going to go ahead and create slides for this presentation. I'm going to go ahead and create slides for this particular presentation. I'm going to click. Well, there's a few things that can happen. I can create a course. I can also create a slide deck. So let me go ahead and create the slide deck. So ladies and gentlemen, a slide deck is now being built. Writing your deck, section 1 of 15. You're going to start to see my slides appear here on the side of Canira. Now, not only am I anchoring the title, I'm going to have the thumbnail. I'm also going to have the actual presentation slide be ready for me. And the registration page is also going to be built. Also, yeah, folks, this is live in full effect. Now, let me see what the people in the chat are talking about. Let me see. Are you guys tracking me here? Is this good stuff? Because I need some energy. I need some energy. Somebody go ahead and give me some love in the chat. Give me love in the chat. So my presentation is actually being built, ladies and gentlemen. There it is there. As you can see, here's what you discover. Here's what you'll discover. I can go in and edit any part of this presentation. All right. The opportunity is real. Frustration and waste. Okay. Timing, turning point, the proven framework. Yes, all this can be edited. I can add photos right here inside the Canira studio. And this is live in full effect, including the offer. So invest in your webinar success. Yes. So if I would have taken the time, because this takes time to anchor the message properly through a script, I could have went ahead and made sure this was really anchored properly the way that I would want it to. But guess what I am going to do? Watch this. I'm going to now, I'm not going to keep this. First of all, I'm going to delete portion of this because I don't need it all. But we're building live. Okay. Not only that, here has the narration for the actual live script narrated. And you want to see something absolutely amazing? I can go here and I could have my voice over narrate the whole entire thing. Did you hear that? So, yes, narration is built into the Canira, and let me prove it to you. Watch this. I'm deleting all of this because I don't want to make a narration for the whole thing. All right, so we're going to narrate the first 3 videos, okay? And I am, let's go ahead and put an image there. Okay, we need to generate an image. So I can either upload an image or I can generate one, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab one from my library. So now I have an image. And now let me go in and edit this. I'm Chante. Okay, I'm the founder of. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead into the narration part. This is for those who don't like speaking on camera. This is a done for you. This is absolutely a powerful way of getting things done. So now I'm going to insert, it says, then I made one specific change. 90 days later, I had my first 10K month since I've helped 100 other coaches do the same. Boom. I'm working in the narration area to make sure. All right, so now that it's narrated, I can either save it or I can export it, but I'm going to go ahead and create a recording from this in my own voice. Let's go, create. So now what's happening is this slide